Michigan Forward, Brother Brandon Jessup. Young brother. He's the one that started this petition against financial managership and dictators. Come on, we can give him a bigger hand than that. Yes, sir.
Right.
How y'all doing this evening?
All right.
Excuse me while I get another side. To many of you guys, you know, in this room, I'm a new face, and that's good. Because it's a campaign like this that brings the community together.
Yes.
In January, when Governor Snyder came into office, I know a lot of us, we kind of breezed over that whole inaugural address part. I didn't want to watch it, but something just told me I had to watch it. At Michigan Forward, this is what we do. We are an urban public policy think tank. We're the first one of its kind. While you got the Mackinac Policy Conference and the Mackinac Policy Center, coming from the deep activist background that's been founded by folks like Mother Watson. And I'm going to say a little bit more about her in a minute, because she's more instrumental in this to bringing up young folks in the movement than anybody I've seen in the city in a long time. Also, hats off to the NAACP and Derek Blackman, Brother Blackman, Reverend Wendell Anthony. That operation, that movement, that apparatus, that vessel to get things done. They've been stepping up way before the news picked up. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Okay, way before the news picked up. Now let me go back to January of this year. Governor Snyder made it a point to reinvent Michigan. Y'all remember the Super Bowl commercial and all that, and all the big money he spent to pull the wool over our eyes and make most of us think that it was a foregone conclusion. All right? In his inaugural address, he made sure that Michigan was back open for business. Now, in other states, and what is logical to me, it's logical to y'all, that if it's open for business, that means jobs going to be created, right? But in the last 11 months, we're the only state not to improve our unemployment status.
My Lord.
The last 11 months. Now, we heard a little bit from our senators about how much emergency managers make. I don't care how much they make, because it's a corrupt system, and every last dollar that they make is corrupted.
That's right.
To be very clear, they're closing the library just 3 blocks south of here. Under the auspices that the emergency manager under DPS public schools can close libraries as well. Now remember, this is the same person that says that he just closed a deficit of $327 million, brought it down to $100 million in 3 months. But all he did was move the goalposts. Right. Now look, if I had the rules of the game like that, hey, we all be fine. That's right. But unfortunately, in the real world, we got accountability, transparency, and in a democracy, all of that is magnified. Especially when you got hundreds of thousands of eyes on you. Now, this financial emergency in Detroit, is a manufactured crisis.
That's right.
Why? We cut revenue sharing by 1/3. But every state resident, every business pays a sales tax, and if you got property, you pay a property tax. Now, what that meant was the state was just going to keep an extra 1/3 of what they generated. Now, they changed the business tax law, and they said that they're looking at almost $1 billion in surplus for this year. But hold on, let me just get this to you straight again. That's not from their business tax changes. That's from our old business tax laws, where the loopholes was closed in. And you had to get to a point where you had to pay what you owed to the state of Michigan. See, now with this new flat tax, the new flat tax that Governor Snyder's putting together, okay, it's nothing for a business to come in here and do nothing but just pay Lansing. And just keep paying Lansing. Don't have to get into Wayne County. Don't have to get into the city of Detroit. Don't have to get into Flint. Don't have to get into Genesee County. Ain't got to talk to Traverse City. And guess who was the first community to get angry about this law? Traverse City. You know why? Because if you cut their revenue sharing by 1/3, you shut down their city for 6 months. Come on now. See, let's start talking about what these folks in Lansing, these corrupt politicians in Lansing, the big business in Lansing, is doing. This is everyday people. This ain't a black issue. It's not. This is a working man's issue. This is a common man's issue. This is now an issue of every voter in the state of Michigan. And now, the legislature knows that. So they start passing extra laws. Senate Bill 865, they try to ram it through here just to test and see what we was going to do. Okay? The day after it moved out of committee, we had a press conference. We called every person in this state to call their state senator and to call their House representative and said, make sure that they know, don't pass Senate Bill 865 because it's an attack on democracy after the first attack that they gave you by giving you Public Act 4. What they want to do is change 2 words in this law and change the bill number. Change the bill number, you invalidate the petition signatures. We are already at 170,000.
That's right.
That's without, and I'm going to be honest, everything that we talk about elections and how we don't show up in the elections, it shows up right on this petition process. You know why? You know why? December 4th, Noel night, I'm downtown. I'm on Warren and Woodward with my petitions and my clipboard. Sign the petition right here. How many brothers and sisters said, go ahead, I want DTE to take over. Go ahead, I don't care about my water bill. But them folks out in Bloomfield Hills, they get it. Because if the base rate of water in Detroit goes up 25% like they did in Pontiac, just to have a meter on your house,
That's right.
and no one can say anything. It wasn't no go to the water board and have a march stand. Who are you going to march in front of? They all unemployed.
That's right.
All those departments dissolved.
That's right.
All those departments dissolved. There's a business owner in Pontiac by the name of Sam. He talked to us in June. And he said, Brother Brandon, I got an auto shop. Now they making no money, but I got real estate right off of Orchard Lake. I want to rezone my property to become a car wash. Makes sense to me. He right in the middle of a busy thoroughfare right off of Woodward and Orchard Lake. He gonna make some money over there. He went to the emergency manager, asked for a zoning hearing. You know what he said? I don't feel like it. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I can't make this stuff up. I'm not a politician, so I ain't got no reason to polish this turd in church. Okay? I'm serious. And then after he appealed to the emergency manager, he was denied the appeal by the emergency manager because he said so. That's an absolute dictatorship. In 1941, we went to war against an absolute dictatorship and a threat to democracy and a future of future democracies in the world. It was the largest war ever in our history, World War II. But several years prior to, Hitler did similar types of things. He started up these financial emergencies across Germany.
Right.
Taking over cities. Removing their locally elected official leaders, elected leadership.
That's right.
The only difference was that there was Jews and Gypsies this time, it wasn't black folks. Later, 7 million people died. All because of one man's greed, corruption, and absolute radical craziness. Now, some of these folks up on Lansing want to call us radicals for putting this petition together. And they saying we being civil disobedient. But I ain't doing nothing but just enacting the process that you're trying to railroad.
That's right.
This right here is democracy in your face. I don't have to stay in a protest for 6 hours. My name is on the line.
Go ahead.
I've made it clear where I stand. I want to see Public Act 4 repealed, and I want to have it to a vote November 6, 2012. Now, we had 2 more points, and I'm going to go, because it ain't just Governor Snyder. Get that out your head. He only signed this law. We got a legislature that feels that they can do whatever they want, and just like Senator Smith said, Senator Hood said, because Detroit, their elected officials and the folks behind them don't get engaged. All right? Because we don't get engaged. They have the fear of Detroit's economy falling, but they don't have the fear of the people who make that economy work. Now, how much sense does that make? Well, they like your money, but they don't want to hear you talk. Bill Chouette, our Attorney General, elected this year. His first step in office, before he said hello good, okay? He reenacted the lawsuit to stop Michigan from signing on to the American Affordable Health Care Act of 2009. Yeah. That's universal health care for all of us. You know what that stopped? 260,000 people from being added to our health care rolls. You know what that stopped? That further handicapped Sister Mother Watson and her ability to break these contracts that the city of Detroit got with one healthcare provider and share the power with the other healthcare providers that's in Wayne County and here in the state of Michigan to do what? Lower costs. To lower costs. To lower costs. But he started this because he knew, once again, manufacturing crisis. Another piece in the puzzle. Let me go another just right down the hallway to your Secretary of State. October 12th, Ruth Johnson, Secretary of State, the person, our main election administrator, the person that counts all the votes at the end of the day. That's right. She started a SAFE initiative. And SAFE stood for Safe and Fair Elections. Now, her mindset is that she's going to increase financial reporting for third-party organizations like NAACP that take care and do political operations and such. She did this to say that she wants to strengthen clerks in the election process. 2 weeks later, a week before this year's election, Pontiac Emergency Manager Lou Schimmel fires the city clerk. Fires the city clerk. Fires an elected official that once again is charged to do what? Count our votes. And also encourage us to get out to vote. Now, they say this is all about finances. But every example I've given you is the direct opposite. Go ahead. This is an economic segregation for us. You still have 30% of African Americans unemployed in the state of Michigan. 18% of us already fell off the rolls. They cut unemployment from 26 weeks to 20 weeks. They cut cash assistance. What else they gonna cut besides cutting you? Oh wait, they already started cutting you.
You're right.
So this petition is all we got left when you look at it. And it's sisters like Mother Watson that saw this as another piece of the puzzle to her lawsuit to stop the madness of Public Act 4.
That's right.
See, in March, when this law passed, she went to action. Michigan Forward went to action. Detroit's leadership right now has already been in action. The folks that they say is your leadership been silent at the table.
Well,
September 13th, the city of Detroit passed a unanimous resolution to support the repeal of Public Act 4, led by this woman.
yeah.
When your council president and vice president and pro-tem was silent. When they got cool to talk about this, then they want us to come save them. But this sister right here is standing on self-determination since she's been elected. And before that, she was So, stand with Mother Watson.
That's right.
Stand with Brother Shabazz. Stand with the rest of Michigan. And pick up this petition. Get 15 signatures. That's all our sheet take, 15 signatures. I would love you to give me 30, but we ain't got but 15 spots on the sheet. So if you want 2 petitions, take 2. But I want you to bring it back before the 2nd or on the 2nd of January. Because time is of the essence. You saw that review team that they put together for you.
Oh, yeah.
Did they ask you who they wanted to have review your finances? No. All they're looking at is your tax dollars anyway. So why in the world are they not inviting you to the table in this conversation?
That's right.
30% of this city provides 100% of the city's finances. And they wonder why we got a tax deficit problem and a cash flow problem. We not working. State of Michigan is not working.
Sure enough.
And it's not just us. Young people in college right now are dropping out of college because they can't find a job to continue to pay the tuition that keep going up because Governor Snyder took more of the resources away from them to go to college. So when they talk about the future and making sure the future has an opportunity, they double talking you on both sides of their mouth and you keep eating it. Stop eating the mess and get to some real food. I wish the closet table was still up here. Because this is serious.
It's serious.
Don't be afraid to tell young people about this issue because they get it quicker than anybody else.
That's right.
We've been talking about independence since hip-hop. We've been talking about the movement since 1988. When Public Enemy said, don't believe the hype was marching up and down the street, that's what I listened to. I listen to NWA too. And I ain't like the cops disrespecting my block either. Guess what? I probably did cuss them out when I was 8. I didn't know what I was saying, but hey, I got the message. It's about autonomy, it's about sovereignty, and this is about democracy.
That's right.
And all three of these things come together here in the United States of America. And guess what? The nation has their eyes on Detroit.
That's right.
2 weeks ago, I did an interview with Al Jazeera.
Go ahead.
Get this clear. The same countries that funded and moved the Arab Summer and the Arab Spring are now coming back to say, wait, what do you do when they try to turn the tides on you with paperwork? When they give you another Jim Crow law? What do you do then? And they're asking us young people in Michigan, how do you fight this fight? So this is deeper than just us and a short-term cash flow problem.
That's right.
It's not that shallow.
That's
As some of those people in Atlanta will make you think.
Sure enough.
This is about purpose. This is about our voice. This is about our way of life.
Say it, baby.
And if we don't defend it now, what will you have to defend when your children ask what happened?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Because that's a question I'm scared to answer. And I know right now I'm doing everything I can to turn this tide.
Go ahead.
We need resources in our community.
All right.
We're going to stop that library from closing with this petition.
Yeah.
Don't get sidetracked. Don't get sidetracked.
That's right.
Get to signing.
That's right.
Find your city council person if they ain't already signed this petition and bombard them until they do it. And your friends that live in suburbs talking about, I'm sorry for Detroit, tell them, don't feel sorry for me. Do something for me.
Right.
Give me a hand up. Because realize, 40% of the state's water comes from right out of our pipes.
Right.
And if it goes up on me, it's double for you.
That's right.
Yep.
God bless y'all. Let's get this movement going. We ain't got no time to waste. We should be able to turn in 250,000 signatures
That's right.
Yeah.
by the middle of January.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Michigan is waiting on Detroit. They
All
already
right.
gave you 170,000 signature spot.
Yeah.
Can Detroit turn in 100,000?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can Detroit turn in 100,000?
Yeah.
Can Detroit turn in 100,000?
Yeah.
That's all I need to hear. Thank you. Have a great night.
What we got to say? Yeah.